Hello and welcome to this little Spalluccipedia video where we have another quick dive into the world of my investigator paranormal Sam Spallucci and his ever-expanding universe. Now, before I have a quick waffle on for a few minutes, please take a chance to have a quick like and also possibly subscribe. That'd be absolutely marvellous if you could. So today I want to have a chat about a character who crops up a few times in the Sam books. A werewolf by the name of Chris Dootson. Now, those who have read Sam Spallucci Bloodline will know he is, not wanting to give too much away, a bit of a hero of the piece. Starts off working for the Bloodline of Abel, this sort of like shadowy cabal of werewolves who are trying to take down Sam and run Lancaster and then the world from Lancaster. But he grows a conscience, as it were. You know, the human inside of him sort of starts fighting with what's going on. He knows he is a wolf. He knows he is destructive, but he decides to do something about it, and he is instrumental in bringing down the bloodline so that Sam doesn't have to sacrifice himself. Chris was great fun to write with. He was, yeah, a very human character, like a lot of my supernaturals are. Especially when you look at the Children of Cain, Justice and all that lot. They are these supernatural beings with supernatural powers, you know, incredibly strong, fast, whatever, longevity. But they have very human characteristics. And Chris was sort of like that personification of that in Bloodline. You know, this werewolf who was still very much a human sort of werewolf. I feel a lot of times we find in horror, we lose the humanity in sort of like these creatures. We forget where they've come from. You know, they are very sort of like otherworldly. You look at Dracula, you know, as a vampire. He has his castle, he has his powers, he can basically do whatever he wants. And to a certain extent, you saw that as well with Anne Rice, with Lestat. You know, Lestat was the brat prince. She had more humanity in there than, say, Stoker did. But even so, there was still somewhat of the other world, of the other realm. Whereas my supernaturals, they tend to be grounded in where they've come from. They're grounded in this reality. So, yeah, Chris was very much a personification of that. And he made 3 appearances. Well, at least he has done so far. I don't know whether I'm going to be bringing him back at some point. Might do, I don't know. We'll see. You know, dealing with supernatural, all things are sort of possible in that respect, I suppose. He first appeared in a short story called Orion's Child, which was published in my anthology Morning Has Broken, where we find out that he's been a werewolf for a while. In fact, he was made a werewolf by Hawkins, who Sam killed in the case of the werewolf of Williamson Park. And then he's been sort of like left wandering around, basically killing sheep, because even at this point he doesn't want to kill humans. He sort of has been sort of like being in the Freemasons with supernatural powers, as he describes it. And he has this thing about going out into the fields, looking up at the stars, hence Ryan's Child, and killing the odd sheep, and, you know, chops a good one. But then you get the leader of the bloodline come along. And basically takes his power from him so that he can be a werewolf, and then so obviously infiltrates Bloodline, becomes leader of the Bloodline, and things go downhill from there for Chris, as we find in Orion's Hunter, the second time he appears, a short story in Hide Not Thou Thy Face, where he is sent off to go and dispatch somebody who has, you know, defame the good name of Vincent Stone, you know, leader of the Bloodline, and there's like raised suspicions about this man who is supposedly the savior of Lancaster, you know, building all these wonderful buildings. And Chris gives in to the wolf. He kills him, and we see Chris struggling with this all the way through Bloodline up to the end. And yeah, it was very good to write. Now, as for his origins, Chris is one of those characters who is most definitely based on a real person. I have a mate of mine called Brian Dootson, who is a local antenna and aerial repairman. You'll sometimes see around Lancaster up on the roof, just as I have Chris doing in Bloodline and the like. And we're in the pub one day. He said, "Austin, these books you write." Like, yeah. Seeing where this was going, says, "Could I be in one?" I said, "Oh, go on then, go on then." I said, "Do you want to be a werewolf?" I said, "Oh yeah, go on." So that's how it happened. Literally over a pint in the pub one day. And I went with it, and the descriptions of Chris have been, it's like relatively tall, blue eyes, sandy hair, comes straight from Bri. By the way, hello Brian, if you're seeing this, right mate. And same sort of personality, that his love of astronomy. If you ever come across Brian's stellar photography, oh, it's amazing stuff. He's got this huge, big, sort of like almost big as a room type contraption of telescope, which takes amazing photographs with. If I get a chance, I'll share a few on social media and whatnot. But yeah, it's amazing piece of work. So the idea of him becoming this werewolf, he was like governed by out of this world body, i.e. the moon, just seemed right. And I know Brian's enjoyed what he's read, so hopefully you will at some point too. Anyway, that's all for now. I've waffled on quite a bit already. It's Monday morning, I need more coffee. So please, quick like, quick subscribe. If you want any more details, they're over at aschambers.co.uk. Take care, stay safe, and keep looking for what lurks in the shadows.